The U.S. national debt was the total or the accumulated amount of all the federal government deficit spending ever done to date. For example, the amount of money our federal government has deficit spent from its very first year as an independent nation after winning the Revolutionary War, plus all the years of deficit spending in the years to follow. However, each of all those years of federal government deficit spending added up, that grand total amount to even today, in the 21st century, is still called the U.S. national debt, because even to this day it is thought by most that our federal government is still in debt, just as if it were still a user of gold or gold-backed currency. But since the federal government changed from being a user of gold or gold-backed dollars to an issuer of dollars, dollars not backed by gold, the national debt was no longer a debt at all, since the federal government can always issue dollars backed not by gold, which is limited, but instead by our full faith and credit, which is unlimited. Rather than being called the national debt, I would rather just call it the national debit. In 1971, when President Nixon closed the gold window and ended the gold standard era for good, the national debt changed from being an actual debt of gold or gold-backed currency of our federal government, a user of gold, to just an accounting entry, a ledger posting, a debit of dollars by the federal government, the issuer of dollars. Today, in the post-gold standard era, in our modern monetary system, when the federal government, the issuer of dollars, deficit spends or quote-unquote prints money, because it no longer is a user of gold and is now the issuer of dollars, the federal government no longer borrows to finance spending. The federal government, the issuer of dollars, by fiat, by computer keystroke, has simply debited dollars, and these dollars are credited to us, the non-federal government, the users of dollars. Each year's deficit spending of the federal government equals the amount of net savings to the non-federal government to the penny. Far from being a burden, deficit spending by the federal government is the origin source of all dollars in the world economy and is crucial to balancing total aggregate demand. Next up, the center of our economic universe.